Welcome everyone to this first session of the second day in the OpenNebulaConf. In this session, we are going to explore some of the highlights in the OpenNebula roadmap. My name is Rubén Montero. I'm the CTO of OpenNebula, and I'm in charge of all the technical development aspect of OpenNebula. And today, together with me, I have Tino Vázquez.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this talk. I'm Tino Vázquez, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of OpenNebula Systems. So I'm in charge of mainly the support and engineering teams, but I also participate in development.
Okay, thank you, Tino. So also remember that you can use the chat on the same page to send your questions. And after the talk, we are going to have 10 minutes time for discussing with all of you any question that you may have about our roadmap. So regarding the achievements or releases that we've been doing since the last conf, in the last year, we made a minor release, which is 6.6.0. In this release, we included several features that we are going to review. Also, this release has been made available to the community, and together with the release, we have a mini one, which, as you probably know, is a convenient way of trying OpenNebula. For our 6.4.0 release, we made a patch release also available to the community. And then we have several releases for maintenance releases, which are available for the enterprise subscriptor. We've made 5.12.13, which is LTS, our previous LTS. We made a couple of releases for the 6.4 series, and we also made another couple of releases for the 6.6 family. At the end, we managed to achieve our internal goal of making two major releases a year, usually framed in the second and fourth quarter of the year, and make available to the enterprise customers every 2 months and maintain a release. For our community, we try, as you know, deliver that, and also we deliver the migrators too, so you can upgrade every minor release. And we also patch community editions for those critical issues that we may find. These are regarding the core technologies of OpenNebula, but together with OpenNebula, we've been developing and we are delivering some more products. So one of the main products that the team is focusing on is the OpenNebula Kubernetes edition. We call that One Key. And basically, this is an appliance based in the OpenNebula Flow. So this is a complete service that deploys a Kubernetes cluster with some master nodes, worker nodes, some load balancers on front of it. And this appliance is CNF-CF certified. And it includes several features like it's multi-master ready. We are using a kernel as our networking module for OpenNebula. We have Longhorn for the distributed storage. We also include traffic asynchronous controller and MetalLB for some load balancing for the networking. So as you can see, this is a, let's say, complete feature-wise distribution and easy way to deploy your Kubernetes cluster on top of OpenNebula, which is a really demanded feature by the community and the enterprise customers. So we made two releases of One Key, one featuring 1.24, and then we updated to 1.27, with support for 1 gate proxy that we are going to talk in a minute, but it's a way that reduces the networking requirements for OpenNebula, to deploy the Kubernetes cluster on top of OpenNebula. Together with the core technology, the Kubernetes appliances and the virtual router appliances, we also provide what we call the context packages. Those packages are a way to simplify the use of your VM guest. So you can deploy or build the appliances and use them easily in OpenNebula. It can be seen as VMware tools or the QEMU guest agents, that kind of tools that help the virtual orchestrator to integrate with the guest. For the contest, we usually made available some pre-installations on popular distributions, and that's published in our marketplace. And we made 2 big releases of the contest packages. 660 with only minor bug fixings and upgrading all the processes. And we also added the 9 series for the Red Hat family. And then this month, we made another release, which includes several improvements in the working, like you are able to define static routes for the guest. We included some improvements in Keep Alive D in the management of the IP, and also we integrated the gate proxy, so you can directly use the gate through a proxy, which is really convenient. And in an effort to provide you with the best quality of the appliances that we provide to the community, we reduced a bit the portfolio of distributions that we are building, because in the process that the team follows for publishing the appliances, we certify them, we test them in several environments, and we want to keep that quality. So in order not to stress too much our resources, we reduce a bit the number of appliances that you can download in the from the marketplace. But we also have some news regarding this in a few minutes. About what is ahead in this year. So in this slide, you can see more or less what are our plans. You see different bubbles. So the bigger the bubble is, the more uncertainty the release or confidence we have in the release, because of the risk that we have associated to the release. For example, our big plans is to release 7.0, which is going to be our next major release in the first quarter of next year. There are a lot of big features that are going to be included in the release. So the exact release date could change for 7.0. But let's consider the other ones. So 6.8, we are planning to release that probably before the summer or early September. And in that release, we are going to include several new features in preparation for 7.0. We expect to release 2 maintenance releases for 6.8, once before the year, around December or late November, and the other one in the first quarter, previous to the 7.0 release. We also are going to keep our commitment in supporting the current releases. So you may expect 6.3 for our enterprise customers to be released in July. And then our LTS, which is 6.4, we are going to make one release in September, and the other one we expect to happen late December or early in January next year. So you will have 2 more releases for this LTS. Then we want to make another big improvements in our Kubernetes, virtual Kubernetes appliance, the 1 key. And that is going to happen after the summer, in the last quarter of the year. We are going to give you more details that we are really excited to announce during this talk. And for the other products, in context, we are also expecting to release something before the summer or early after the summer. We also have big news for context, as Tino is going to explain in a few slides. And then we have another announcement to make in terms of releases. Is a new project, which is the Ansible playbooks. Also, you are going to have a few details later. But the idea is that we are going to prepare a technology preview probably in a week or 2. And then before the end of the year, with all your feedback, we are planning to make the 1.0 release for this Ansible project. So this is more or less what you can expect from the next year. And as I said, we are quite excited by for two of the components that were released: 7.0, the Ansible one, Kubernetes, and the context packages. So 6.6. What for those of you that not tried OpenNebula 6.6 yet, what can you expect from this release? So we have highlighted a couple 4 areas. So the first one is overdue, long overdue feature, which is the VM backups. So OpenNebula 6.6 includes, I'll say, a proper implementation or complete implementation of VM backups, which can be full, incremental. You have different features to schedule when the backups are going to happen for a VM. It's completely integrated in quotas, and it's really natural to use it with the OpenNebula because it uses the data store and images objects. So it's really completely integrated with all the operations of the excuse me, of the API and the management of OpenNebula. We also made some improvements in networking, especially in the PCI pass-through and SRUV network interfaces. So now you can update the interfaces that a virtual machine includes without the need of detaching or attaching them back to the virtual machine with the new attributes. And you can do the same thing with these PCI pass-through and SRUV interfaces. Another big improvement or big feature for OpenNebula is the integration with Prometheus. So we have developed custom exporters for OpenNebula data and a custom libvirt exporter, so you can gather information from the hypervisors running VMs, feed that into Prometheus, and visualize all the data through custom Grafana dashboards that can be or that have been developed for this integration. Also, we included the integration with the alert manager, so you can trigger alert based on all these metrics. And the final pieces that I want to share with you about OpenNebula in 6.6 is this one-gate proxy that was really a requirement from a lot of you. You wanted to reduce all the requirements that you need to for at the networking level in order to use the gate. Sometimes that's difficult because it requires to expose the gate to the public IP, and that has been reduced through a proxy service. For OpenNebula Flow and Sunstone, you've seen that also a lot of tabs has been migrated to FireEdge. So if you try 6.6, you can keep getting a glance of what is going to be the interface in 7.0, and we keep maintaining Sunstone, the traditional Sunstone interface with these new features. So this is more or less what I've been doing during the last year, what you can expect for the upcoming months. And if you want to try 6.6, please do so because it has some juicy features in there. So now I'm going to leave you with Tino, which is going to talk about more details of the future roadmap in OpenNebula. Tino, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ruben. So again, welcome everyone in this beautiful Wednesday. We are starting the summer, so let's give some highlights of what's going to be new in the upcoming OpenNebula releases, in particular the next couple of releases, 6.8 and 7.0. Okay, so for 6.8, we are going to focus on these 4 areas. We are going to focus on improve the new VM backup system. We want to build a way to monitor and also manage different backup jobs, so you can prioritize and schedule the different backups of the different virtual machines. We also want to improve the performance of several storage drivers and also add support for standalone Cookout2 images. Okay, as Ruben mentioned, we also have a plan to release a set of Ansible playbooks to easily deploy different OpenNebula architectures, right? Including OpenNebula high availability for the front end, which is kind of a complex deployment as well. Also new in 6.8, we are going to introduce a separation of concerns of different enhanced platform awareness features. The objective of this functionality is to make the most out of the hardware where a virtual machine is running by assigning them to different NUMA resources. So in 6.8, you'll be able to apply a policy to deploy a VM on a NUMA node. You will be able to define huge pages without pinning. Also, the ability to update those network interfaces that are underlying virtual functions linked with SRIOV. Also, several minor improvements to the KVM driver to increase the functionality, like, for instance, the ability to define different CPU flags. In terms of context, we are going to update Windows packages to the Windows 11 version. Also, we are going to update several Linux releases. And more interesting, we are going to make available, we are going to publish the build toolchain to create your own images with the OpenNebula context packages. Okay, for 7.0, this is going to be an LTS release and a major release. We are going to focus on these different 5 aspects. We want to improve multi-tenancy with the ability to assign a different pool of VLANs to different user groups. We also want to extend the quota system to be able to apply to different objects, including clusters. And we want to increase the traceability and the audit features of OpenNebula. In terms of the Kubernetes, the 1KI appliance, we want to improve the integration with Sunstone. Also, the ability to present information about the state of the Kubernetes cluster in Sunstone as well. We want to improve the support for CNI, and we want to enable air-gap deployments. In terms of networking, we want to improve the drivers for OpenVSwitch and DPTK, and we want to have a better integration of the BNF and VR appliances also in Sunstone. Data stores, we are going to work extensively in the data store drivers. We are going to rewrite the backend of some of them, the ones based on file system. We are going to improve the backup drivers to allow for in-place recovery and also use the incrementals in Ceph. And we want to add new functionality to be able to migrate virtual machines running on one system data store to another. That's the storage life migration. We are also working on a complete redesign of the One Provision tool. We want to make a permanent service with exposing its own API. We are going to use these new Ansible playbooks that we plan to publish for the 6.8 release. And also we want to add support for Microsoft Azure. In terms of the scheduler, we want to be able to hook the scheduler with external, possibly AI-enabled orchestrators, right? So the scheduler will feature an interface, a module plugin approach to be able to obtain recommendations from these external orchestrators. Okay, one of the big parts we are working on is on the new FireEdge Sunstone. So this is meant to be a replacement for the current Ruby Sunstone, which has been living a long life, over 12 years now, since March 2011. So we are doing a huge amount of work because we need to port all this functionality to a new version of Sunstone, which is this FireEdge Sunstone. Okay, what's going to be new in this FireEdge Sunstone 6.8? We want to add the ability to do BNC through SSH that would allow us to access the remote virtual machines running on edge clusters, all under this centralized Sunstone interface. And we want to add new tabs to manage data stores, virtual data centers, users, and groups. With that, we'll have more or less 70% of the functionality of Ruby Sunstone. Okay. So the plan for 7.0 is to be able to have all the functionality from Ruby Sunstone in this new FireEdge Sunstone. Okay, we are going to deprecate in this release Ruby Sunstone. This doesn't mean that Ruby Sunstone is going to disappear, but we won't be adding new functionality to this old interface, just to the new FireEdge Sunstone interface. Also in this release, we need to add, the tabs that are missing, which are complex tabs like the VM groups and the service one that it's based on OneFlow services. And we want to add federation capabilities to this FireEdge Sunstone. Sorry. So what's after 7.0? The plans for FireEdge Sunstone after 7.0, where the Ruby Sunstone will be deprecated, it's to streamline the user experience, right? We want to make it more responsive, and that goes about using the native JSON searches that OpenNebula exposes, being able to do a streaming of all the resources from a pool instead of the pagination that we are using now. We want to review all the styles and add context so people know in the different steppers and dialogues of the interface what all the attributes mean and what they are used for. Okay, just to finalize, I want to give a huge thanks to Limbit and Storepool. They are two amazing partners with two very mature drivers to interface their storage backends from OpenNebula, and in general to all our community. Okay, if you want to try out the new features, don't forget to use MiniOne or download the software directly and install it in your Linux flavor of choice. So thank you, everyone. Ruben and I will be here for half an hour approximately. So feel free to fire any question in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today.